Hey guys, welcome. I'm Alexandra Harbushka, founder of Life With Herpes, founder of alexandraharbushka.com and Secret Society Wellness. I am here with my zit. It's looking good. I get this one like once a year. It's a good one. Once a year. And it's one of those, it's going to do a lot of percolating and then like nothing will come out. No bueno. But it's not my wedding or prom, so we're good. Okay, guys, so what is going on? Hi there. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Feel free to ask me your questions directly, of course, or you can add them to the stories. I put a question box in the stories. You can go there as well. But anyways, and okay, let's do it. Do you know anything about IgM in blood for herpes? So the IgM and IgG are the antibody tests that are performed when we're looking for the antibodies for the herpes virus. So something that people get confused about is like, oh, the herpes virus lives in your blood. No, it does not. The antibodies obviously do. And so what they're doing is they're drawing your blood to test for the antibodies for herpes. As far as there's an IgG and IgM test, it's looking at the levels that are in your body. So I don't know exactly what your question is. I would say that if you've had a test done and you have questions about it, the best thing you can do is go directly to that practitioner that performed or administered the test. They would have a better way to answer it for you. I'm not a doctor, so that's something I can't answer. So yeah, let me know if you have more questions on that. Okay, have an outbreak while on my period. Could it be hormonal? Yeah, so that's actually extremely common. The hormones change in our bodies, and that is something that creates kind of havoc in our bodies, and so therefore the hormone change can cause an outbreak. It's extremely common for a lot of females to get it either while they ovulate or during their period or right after their period, right? Because there's like a hormone jump and dip and all that stuff. So yeah, there's a lot that can go on with that. Good question, because that's something that, we may not have known. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, wow, we're getting them all during our periods. Or I'm always getting it right before. Something that I recommend doing, a way to kind of try to prevent an outbreak or get ahead of it or lessen the severity of an outbreak, is know what your triggers are. So if it's like your period and chocolate, which those two go hand in hand, right? Maybe back off the chocolate for like a day or two before. Also, you can supplement with some other supplements like lysine. That's a good one to help supplement or basically combat it. Also, monolaurin is another great one, another great supplement to help, like I said, fight it, get proactive with it opposed to reactive. If you want, and it's something that you're like, no matter what I do, I will always get an outbreak around my period, take the antiviral. That's what it's there for. It does work really well. So there's a lot of different options. Also, if you want to fight a little more naturally and do a few things a little more naturally, you can take some Epsom salt baths. That is great. I need to take more Epsom salt baths than I'm being a hypocrite right now, but those do work wonders for our bodies, our nervous systems. I'm letting my dog in. Our bodies, our nervous systems, and our herpes outbreaks. I mean, they do wonders for us. Okay. Sorry, guys. Dog wants in, dog wants out, dog wants in. Okay. Am I supposed to disclose to someone about my genital HSV1 before kissing them? No. So here's my thing. If you're not going to expose the person to having herpes, you don't have to disclose. So you can go out to dinner, go on dates, go do whatever you want. If you're not going to expose them, you don't have to disclose. So, if you have genital HSV1, you can kiss them all you want. You're not going to transmit it orally. You're only able to transmit it genitally. Great question, though. Nerve damage after herpes outbreak for past few years. Taking medication to block pain since October. Anything natural you can recommend? Only about 2 outbreaks in 5 years. Well, that's awesome. When you say nerve pain, is it like a creepy crawly feeling? Like what type of nerve pain are you experiencing? I have heard, this is hearsay. I do not know. but someone in our secret society, she has nerve pain. She's a hairstylist, so she has nerve pain in her arms from, you know, styling hair. And so she's taking magnesium. Again, I do not know. I would ask a doctor, but that is something she said she was doing for her nerve pain. Has nothing to do with herpes, has to do with, you know, just overuse of her elbows and things like that. That's one thing I've heard. I would also say Epsom salt baths are very good for our nervous system. They're also really good for, I talked about this earlier, really good for our overall health. It adds magnesium to our body. It adds a lot of other minerals and nutrients to our body. And so that might be really helpful if you're not doing that. Those are the only two things I can recommend for nerve damage. Yeah, I'm really sorry you're going through that. Okay. So if you have genital HSV1, can you spread it to another part of your body, mouth, eyes, etc.? Feeling constantly worried, only had 2 outbreaks in the past 2.5 years. Okay, so that's a really good question. Hey, Dan, that's a really good question about transmitting it, whether it's genital or oral or HSV1 or HSV2, it doesn't matter. When you've created the antibodies in your body, you cannot reinfect yourself with the same virus. It's just the way that it works. So are there people that have, for example, HSV1 in multiple locations? Yes. And the way that happened is they most likely reinfected themselves prior to establishing antibodies. So for somebody that's had it 2.5 years, you would have the antibodies by now. And therefore it would be really, 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 really difficult to reinfect yourself. I understand your concern. You know, when I have active outbreaks, if I touch it, I'm not gonna like immediately touch my eye. You know, I wash my hands and then I like have to give it peace. I can't worry about what if this, what if that, what if I touch a door handle, what if I touch, you know, my underwear or my pants touches something. You know, I can't worry about it. I've done what I can do. So if you have the antibodies, then I would say relax about it and, you know, be conscious of it, but don't freak yourself out over it. And it's very easy to do. Oh, good. I'm glad you find the videos extremely helpful. Love that. Hi, Adrian. Can I use boric acid even though I have HSV2? Okay, so I've just heard about boric acid in the last, I'd say like 2-3 months. I've never tried it. One of the girls in our secret society is like sworn by it. She uses it all the time. She also has one that's tea tree infused. So I would say try it. The worst thing that will happen is you get an outbreak, right? Like I always want us to remember, the worst thing that happens, you get an outbreak. That's it. That is the worst thing. We get all in this, like all in our head. Can I do this? Can I do that? What if I do this? What if I eat that? The worst thing that will happen is an outbreak. You're not going to lose an arm or a leg or lose your hair. You get an outbreak. Yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, it's like, you know, but that's the worst thing. I have a hair that's like giving me the creepy crawlies. So keep that in mind. I would say, yeah, go on ahead and try it. I've never tried boric acid. Yeah, when it's saying STD, it might mean chlamydia, gonorrhea, other things. So this is, yeah, I would try it. I would try it. Let us know how it goes. Do the outbreaks leave permanent scars or stains? It depends on where they are. So our tissue, like our lip tissue and genital tissue, its skin is very tissue-y. It's very different than like the skin on our arms or our legs or our stomach or things like that. It's extreme. Whoa. It's extremely different. So typically when it's on the like tissued skin, it does not leave a scar. That skin happens to heal much faster. When it's on skin, then yeah, it can leave like a dark pigmentation. I know when I get it on my tailbone, it takes it a little longer for it to heal or look like it's healed, because it can leave a little pigmentation. Yeah. Finish reading the question on boric acid, please. Yeah, I did about the, wait, this is finish reading the question about boric acid, please. Yeah, so as far as STDs, I don't know. There's plenty of people that use them that I know of that have herpes. So I wouldn't sweat about it. Do you know anything about herpes meningitis? I think I'm reading too far into this. No, I don't. I've never heard of that. Meningitis, though, is, I believe it's part of the herpes family. So it might be like chickenpox is part of the herpes family. Mono is part of the herpes family. So meningitis may be part of the herpes family. As I'm saying this, I do not know, but that could have been how it got read into. There's hundreds of different herpes viruses, and it's a matter of, they're all called something different. Like chickenpox isn't called like herpes B or whatever. It's called chickenpox. So there's a lot of different herpes viruses. Meningitis could be one of them. Truth is, I do not know. I got outbreaks under my armpit around my breast. Is that HSV1 or HSV2? The best thing to do would be to get that checked. It doesn't typically like your armpits or your breast. So if that's the case, I would get it swabbed. And then that way you'll know if it's HSV1 or HSV2. It could be something else like shingles or some other type of rash going on. But I really encourage you to get that checked since it's not common in those areas, to kind of see what's going on there. Where can I find your diet guide where you talked about high lysine diet? If you join the Life with Herpes community, just the newsletter, I have like 9 pages or something of like not remedies, but like the 9 things that you need to know when you're diagnosed, or like over-the-counter stuff you can use. And in that, I go into great detail on lysine and arginine, like things to eat and avoid, things like that. So if you just join the newsletter will be sent to you and it'll be good. Can herpes simplex be transferred through saliva? So that's a good, I don't want to comment. Okay. Anyways, can herpes simplex be transferred through saliva? So it doesn't live in our saliva. It's not living in any bodily fluid for that matter. It is a skin disease. It is transferred skin to skin. But let's use the example, if I had an active oral outbreak and I let's say had an active oral outbreak, use that saliva for lube, let's say with my husband or whoever, not whoever, I'm only with my husband, but you know what I'm talking about for, examples here. That saliva could potentially be a vehicle in which it would be transferred. Does that make sense? So it's not actively living in it, but it could transfer it. Another perfect example, I have my bottle of Pellegrino. Let's say I have a big oral outbreak. I take a sip and I say, hey, do you want a sip? Okay, that could easily be transferred that way as well. But again, it's not, it's just a vehicle. I don't want to comment. Stop. There we go. Can herpes simplex be okay, just answered that one. Cool. I feel like I'm up to date here. Okay, cool. I'm curious. I have that group of grains on the side of my tongue ever since I was diagnosed with oral HSV1, and okay, I don't know why I can't. And have been afraid to date or kiss someone not knowing if those grains are active or not. I don't believe what you're talking about is herpes. Again, this is something you could go to your dentist, or you could go to have that looked at, potentially by a dermatologist maybe, but I would probably maybe start with your dentist, because the herpes virus doesn't like to live inside your mouth. It really does prefer the exterior. Doesn't mean that you can get oral outbreaks. It does. But it's not as common, and typically that is a canker sore, not a herpes sore. As far as grains, I don't know what that means. I don't see it. I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar with that even being anything. As far as being afraid to date or kiss someone, I want all of us to stop, right? We are letting a virus determine if we should date. We're letting a virus determine if we should be happy. And that's absolutely ridiculous. It's like just as ridiculous as my pimple, as me saying like, yeah, I can't go on dates now because I have a pimple. Maybe at 14's a little young to date. Maybe as a teenager, right? That's like, my life's over. But it'd be just as ridiculous as saying that. It's the stigma that gets involved in our head and takes over and tells us that we can't do things now that we have herpes. And that's completely wrong. You can still date. You can still go out. You can still kiss a partner. You can still have sex. You could still have a baby. Like, everything in life is normal. Yeah. Are there times you can't kiss somebody because you have an outbreak? Yeah. Are there times you can't have sex because you have an outbreak? Yeah. You know, are there times that it gets in the way? Yeah. But are there other things in life that get in the way of something you want to do? Like traffic, like another conflict in, you know, going on. Like, you want to go to a birthday party, but instead you can't. I don't know. You got to go on a work thing or whatever, right? So don't let this virus hold us back from doing what we want to do. But I know how easy that is. So go out, go date. Don't worry. Hi, Daisy. Let's see. Oh, by grains, I mean proteins. I still don't know what you mean by proteins. You have proteins on the side of your tongue. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I would ask your dentist. Can you pass herpes without having an outbreak? Unfortunately, you can, which is the unfortunate thing, and that's why 70% of transmissions occur without an outbreak. It's called viral shedding. It means, and the way I like to describe it is like any living thing sheds, right? We shed our hair, our skin cells. Trees shed their leaves or their pine needles, flowers, like we all shed, right? Animals shed their hair, all that stuff. So this virus is also a living thing and wants to shed as well. So when that happens, the virus pops up to the surface of the skin, wherever you get your outbreaks. You are contagious, but there's no signs, symptom, tingle, prodrome, any of that. So you would not know that you have the outbreak. So that is a little bit of the gray area in this. There are some ways to help keep it dormant. It would be having a high lysine diet. It would also be the FDA approved drug, which is the Valtrex or Valcyclovir, the antiviral. So those are the best ways to keep it dormant in our system. Is it safe to take the vaccine being HSV2 positive? You know, I don't know anything about the vaccine. I'm assuming you're talking about the COVID vaccine. You know, I don't know anything about it. I know that a lot of people have had the vaccine that have the majority of the population has herpes, and there's been a lot of people that have gotten the vaccine, and so therefore a lot of people with herpes have gotten the vaccine, right? I've talked to people in our community. They've said that they've gotten, a few of them have gotten outbreaks after their shots, just because their immune system is now working overboard, just to try to metabolize the new whatever the vaccine does in your body. I think it's the new protein in your body. Again, I don't know, you know, I don't think anybody knows, because I don't think there's enough research out there to even anchor it to something. But I would say do what you feel is right for your body, and do what you feel is right for your overall health. You know, don't let this herpes virus stop you from doing what you want to do in your life. Yeah. Cool. All right, guys, I am going to go get my little boy and be a mom. I think I got through all my questions. I think we're good. Cool. All right, my friends, my zit and I will see you soon. Hopefully not both of us. It's good. Hopefully just I will see you soon, not my zit. And have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I appreciate every single one of you. All right, bye.